Welcome to Building Education, Awareness, and Mentorship Podcast. I'm your host, Yusuf Gaiwazango, and I'm super excited. First, because we are finally starting this amazing journey, and second, because of an outstanding guest we have today, who currently is the president of the Student Union Government University of Maiduguri, none other than Aliyu Idris Dekasku, popularly known as DK. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you too.
I know you, and I believe many people as well do know you. But in addition to that, we have many out there watching this podcast who don't know who really you are. And I would have to disclose this. Even all that I've known about you is in the subject of you aspiring to become the SUG president and you becoming the SUG president. Keeping all of that aside, we'd like to know who Mr. DK is.
All right. Thank you very much. Glad to be here with you once again. My name is Ali Idris Dakasku, also known as Ali DK. I am a 500 level student from Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Maiduguri, and I am also privileged to be the president of the Student Union Government 2025-2026 academic session. So to say, I'm the newly elected SUG president. And I will also serve as Deputy Speaker of the Student Union Government in 2023. I also serve as the Speaker in 2025, which I resigned to contest for the SUD President. And I came from Portiscombe University.
Yes, that's amazing. Now I would like to shift towards your personal journey. You are a medical student, a veterinary doctor in the making, obviously, and you are also a politician. These two I know very well, which is quite mysterious to look at it. My interest here is what drives you towards politics?
All right. I think I won't say that I'm a politician yet.
Okay.
I'm just a student leader. Like I don't think we do politics in the university.
Play that out for me. I don't know the difference actually. Politician, student leader, maybe what's that?
Yeah. You know, politics. It has to do with a lot of things, and the reason I stay away from it is because we are here in the university to study, not to do politics. The primary thing that brought us to this university is for us to study, not for politics. But still, we do some kind of things that is similar to politics.
Okay.
But then we do all that just to bring what is good for the student of the university. And what put me into this kind of things that we call politics is because I think so many people believe that politics is a dirty job. That in politics, you have to be very bad for you to survive in politics. But then this is a reason that I believe people like me and people that we believe we can contribute what is good to the society or to the people should come in and be part of this. And the reason that people like us used to shy away from politics, they believe that politics is just for people that are dirty. That is the reason you see the majority of people that are not in politics are very bad. That is the reason. So I believe I can contribute something meaningful. I can improve the life of students living in the university, which are what drive me into doing this academic politics.
Thank you so much. I like the fact that you cleared out this narrative, this misconception. That most people going into politics are bad people. The next question I have for you is something I've also been asked a lot, and I don't think I've quite figured it all out. And I want to believe your engagements are much more than mine, which means your answer will be from a vantage point compared to the answer I've been given. The question is, how do you manage your academic struggles with this leadership? Or let me put it this way. How do you manage your academic struggles with the whole of this comradeship?
Yeah, this I often get asked this question to be honest with you, because even last 2 weeks, I think before our election, I was asked this question. Even while I was serving as a speaker, I often get asked this question. And to be honest with you, I often don't know the exact answer to say how me personally I was able to manage veterinary medicine is not an easy course, to be
It's
honest with
not.
you. It's
It's
very
not.
difficult. I
It's
know a
not.
lot of people who are not to these distractions and are finding it very hard to traverse through veterinary school. So, to be honest with you, I would say it's a grace and a little bit of knowing myself. I know myself, I know what works for me. Just like the way when I met you, you were eating, and I told you I could
Yes.
not do that. So this is something that about knowing myself. I know if I am to read, I would have to sit. Especially I read mostly during the night. I can't read during the day. When I'm reading during the day, I'll just be sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. So I make sure whatsoever I would do, I will provide that time for me to study in the night. So you see this kind of things, knowing yourself, knowing what works for you. And I'm that kind of person that I perform best under pressure. If
Uh,
we have exam, for example, 2 days, if I even if I start reading by now, I won't be able to finish it. But then a day before the exam, that is when I will just put everything, jam pack everything, and just go out and
that's
read.
great
Even though I forget it, but then I was able to do
to
so.
manage.
Just the simple answer is knowing yourself is very important. Know what works for you. What works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B. So what has worked for you might not work for someone. So things like this are very important. So I was able to manage it by just playing safe.
Playing safe. That's
Yeah,
always
I played.
that's true. And I like the fact that you mentioned this aspect of knowing yourself. It's very important to know yourself. As you have said, I'm a day person. I prefer reading during the day. I don't like reading at night, but I have to. You know, the profession we are into. Sometimes you have to read even when you don't want to read. Thank you so much. The next question I have for you is in line to what you are. You are the SCG president, obviously, which is when it comes to things like election. Let's take, for example, the previous SCG election that was conducted. Thousands of people, more or less, almost get out of their way to making sure that you become the SCG president, to voting for you. It always interests me to know how do you manage to entice all those people to come and fuel your vision. You know, to even have 10, 20 people going for what you are is not a simple thing to do, but to having hundreds and thousands of people to come and vote for you, how do you build that trust? How do you build that trust among your peers and people all around?
You know, in order to get people's trust, you have to be consistent with the trust. Yeah, like also I often say even during the campaign, most of the people that you see with me we've been together for more than 2 years
Mm,
because I started my academic politics, my student leadership journey since when I was in part two. Even though in part one I have served in various associations, but I started the real SUT politics in part three. So those people that are with me now are people that we've been together since part three. So you see that this is not common in politics because the people believe like politics is all about betrayal,
mm,
just serving your own interests. No, we don't do that. So we are consistent with the trust. That's the reason. And then secondly, how I was able, or we were able, because I know I couldn't do this alone. We did it collectively with
it has
people.
always been a matter of the
So,
team.
so yeah, yeah, it's a matter of a thing. So we're able to get this support from people because we sold them a vision and they bought it. So we have planned we termed it as student first agenda.
Mm,
Last year we were not able to actualize it. So this time around we all carry this particular value. MK, DK, and other people that will come in the future by God's grace. We all have this of student first agenda. Our concern will always be about how to improve the livelihood of students living in the university. So this is what we believe is the main priority that our students need, especially at this critical moment. So we're able to to rally them around,
that's interesting.
to intimate them about what we have in plan for them. So we sold them and they bought it. And now by God's grace, we are praying that God's help us in ensuring that we deliver our promises.
Inshallah, he will. And I love the fact that you mentioned people giving you trust and you becoming persistent with that trust. You know, many times people get into the system and you cannot tell at the beginning. But after testing them once, twice, that is when you can have that feeling. Maybe we can trust this individual again. And I believe they have seen that in you. That's why they trusted you and fuel your vision. Coming to the big question, what inspired you to run for the SCG president? Was it that you woke up one day and decided this is what I want, or it has been something you have been planning for quite a long time?
Uh,
There's a lot to say here. I can
yeah,
see from
definitely,
your gesture, but I'm
definitely.
all ears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The SCG, we don't need for SCG present, to be honest with you. It's not part of my bucket list.
Okay.
Even though a lot of my friends have related me to SCG a long time ago. Even when I was serving as deputy speaker, many of them have said that will be the SCG president, will be our SCG president. Even in
They
part
have, they
one,
have seen the capacity. I believe
I
that was
could
the
recall
reason.
there was a time in part one where we are about to write our TST exam. We were in the queue, and one of my friends was telling me that DJ will be the SCG president and I will be the secretary. We are dividing it between
Wow.
us. But at that time, we were not sure if it's going to happen because we were not even part of the system. We were not even aware of anything that is going on there. But then, as time goes day by day, we are building bridges, kind of things like this. And then one thing that pushed us to go for this is because we trace that the main problem that people of this university, especially the students, are facing is about the leadership. It's about leadership, right? Especially leadership with focus. That is the
Focus.
reason we believe we are focused to solve a particular problem that has been disturbing us. I came into this school in 2018, I did my leader, and the problem that I faced in that 2018, we are still facing now.
Yeah.
So this shows that the leadership, I've seen a lot of SUT presidents who can pass, but then there's this particular thing that needs to be addressed. Because most of them were not focused. They tried their best. They did all what they but then they were not focused on that particular thing. So we believe if we find a leadership that is focused on solving this particular problem that we are facing, then that will be solved. So that's the reason we believe we have people that are capable. Even though the student first idea started a long time ago. It started long time ago. It's just a group of people who are really determined in solving the problem that our students first, rather than going for things that are not so important. You know, there is this misplaced priority. A lot of
Absolutely.
people place their own priorities on things that are not very important. But we believe our priority should be on what the student really need. So that is about. So these are part of the things that 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 brings about all this ambition that you see.
That's an
Also
interesting
contesting
answer.
for SUG.
And I would like to disclose this. When I decided I was going to have this podcast with you, I reached out to some individuals whom I believe know you well, and I asked them about you. And one of the things one of those individuals mentioned was that DK is a long-term planner, and you have been planning to become the SEG president for a very long time, which, from what you have said, is not the case. But I can understand where his point is coming from. It's the fact that they have been seeing the capacity in you, they have been seeing you for a very long time as the president to come, which is great. Given the fact that you mentioned you are a president promising focus, I am someone who likes to hold people accountable, and I believe many of the people who have voted for you as well. In that, I would like to know what are some of the plans that you hope to implement throughout your tenure as the SCG president?
We divided our course into two parts: the primary and then the secondary. Which the primary will focus on improving the students' welfare. That
Okay.
will be our focus. So small things that is often at times um, don't take it serious is what is really disturbing students. When I serve as the speaker, there's this problem I notice most of the times toilets, with our toilets. So we initiated this parliamentary sanitation day to just see how we can improve the conditions of our toilets. So we did that, and it was a very successful program that we did. So this this tells you a lot about some of the things.
That
That
can be done.
you see, this sanitation is not something big,
It's not.
but then most of the people will decide to focus on building, let's say, flyovers. I had during the campaign
This
some
is
of
a
the
very important
SUG
point. The fact that
aspirants.
some of the minorities that we need to be put in place
So
are
these are
ignored.
the primary part of our goals that we tend to achieve. We make sure that all this welfare of the students have been catered for. Since like steady electricity, we already have solar, um, our toilets, maintained in a unique manner, and then our rooms are also, and hostel environments and class environments are also kept clean. So these are kind of things ensuring that there is steady supply of water. So these are basic needs that every student
Mm,
this is a right that every
absolutely.
student needs to have. Even though the university is trying, but sometimes the problem comes from the student mismanagement. So we try to put more focus on things like this. And then the secondary, I don't need to talk about it because this is something people know they are
Okay.
capable of doing. Things like we have done it while as I was the speaker. I did the parliamentary education program. It's a capacity building program. So there are a lot of things if I am to mention the secondary. But then my focus, especially in my early days after inauguration, will be on solving this basic needs. That is
Mhm.
the primary goal. The secondary, if I am to listen to you on the secondary goals, so we will not finish this.
That's
We'll finish all
that's
the time.
amazing. I think what we would have to do is remind me. I'll try as much as possible to bring back Mr. Dickey at the end of the session. At the end of this session,
Inshallah,
to
inshallah.
to highlight some of the goals he has attended. That's amazing. Thank you for this amazing answer. Well, this is an unintended question. I've been looking at this your cap and have been wondering what has been about it. So tell me something about this your cap.
So to be honest with you, I receive a lot of questions like this about this my camp, especially lately after I won this election. I I even saw it in a group, someone is selling this cap. Yes, he named it after my name, PK or something. But then there is nothing about this cap to be honest, just about comfort. I have started wearing this cap long time ago because when I became very consistent in around 2016, 15,
Oh, that has been a very long time.
very long time. I become very consistent about wearing it. Initially, I used to wear just caps, but then I don't like it at that time. But my mom always wants me to wear a cap. So in order to compensate her, also to wear a cap, so I opted for this type of cap because you see, they have no weight. They are just, it's
They
very
are light.
comfortable to wear. Yeah, they are
Light
very
and
light.
very
They are very,
comfortable.
very comfortable. And people are now letting it to actually Bola Tinubu, our president. But I started wearing this cap long time before I knew Tinubu existed. So if you could see, there are a lot of my pictures that I was very young when I started wearing this cap. So it has nothing to do with Tinubu or whatsoever.
That's
Just comfort.
interesting. I
Just
think I would
comfort.
give it a try. Maybe if you have one, you can dash me
Yep,
because I find it difficult to manage this cap as well.
definitely.
It's a bit
So
heavy
yeah,
compared
very,
to
very, so this
this
is very
one.
light. So it's all about comfort.
It's all about
Yeah, there's
comfort.
nothing more, no cost, nothing, just comfort.
It interests me to know, besides your comradeship, politics SCG stuff, and your medical journey, do you do other things?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm an entrepreneur.
Wow.
I'm
In addition to all of that,
yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a company. I run a company, Tangani Transport and Logistics. It's a delivery company. We deliver services within Portisco. So we are planning to expand it statewide and nationwide by God's grace. But for now, I have interest in entrepreneurship to be honest with you. I have even treated entrepreneurship more than I have in academics. So I see myself as an entrepreneur more than I see myself as a student because I know I'm not a good student because I honestly don't like studying a lot. But then I am more interested in entrepreneurship.
that makes me wonder. You said you are very interested in entrepreneurship. So now between, let me put it this way: what's the future in politics? Now that you are mentioning that you are so passionate about entrepreneurship, after this SCG, do you have anything from DK?
Yeah, you know, we don't know what the future holds, but for now, I think my future in politics depends on if my service is needed, then that is when I will think. If I see I can improve the livelihood of individuals, because that is what I believe is the most important thing. You don't just get to a position just to be called so person. I'm not now just I'm not in this position just to be called the SUG president. No, it's about what services can you offer. So if my service is needed in the future as a politician, then I will definitely go for it. But if it's needed as in entrepreneurship or as a veterinarian, so what is the most important thing is the service that you offer. So we don't know what the future holds, but inshallah, it's going to be
That's interesting. I love your answer. The fact is providing service to people,
yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
that's what life is all about
Mm.
in terms of great individuals. They have done justice to this. I'm very sure out there that people admire you. DK, SCG president. Some are even aspiring to become the SCG president. Maybe they're 100 level, 200 level, even beyond that. So, in that aspect, if you would give them an advice to those young individuals, your juniors, those to come long after this, someone from far watching this podcast, what advice would you give them in their journey, life generally?
So my advice to young people, I'm also a young man. So, but my advice to people that are younger than me, especially my juniors in the university who are aspiring to be SUG president in the future, my advice to them will be they should never give up. Yeah, life has its own way of showing you change. So the most important thing is to never give up. And then secondly is to be patient. Patience is very important. I've seen the importance of being patient, especially patient with your goals. You don't just wake up to be. I didn't just wake up to be a CG president. I've been in this school since 2018. I serve as deputy speaker. I serve as speaker, and I got elected.
Getting to 7 years.
Yes. So people will just see this as just a CG president. They didn't see the process, but it's a long time process. So you have to be patient with your goals, with whatsoever that you are pursuing. You have to be patient. Good things takes time. You don't
Okay.
just rush greatness. It's just a matter of time. Patience is very important. And then they should be very focused. Know what you want. I met a lot of people that don't even know what they want. Someone will tell you that he wants to be, for example, so someone like me, I said I want to be a doctor or veterinary. I came into school to study veterinary medicine, but someone will be studying health education or another course and you will want to be something. So this is just an analogy. But the most important thing is to know what you want. If you want to be SUG president, you make sure whatsoever you are doing is pushing you toward that
In line
SUG
to that.
presidency. Don't just be going the other way and then you are expecting miracle to happen that will turn you. You just have to put the effort. After you put the effort, then you pray. That is how it works. You don't just pray and then don't. You have to put the effort. Then you pray. That is when it happens. So these are the few advices that I have for young individuals that wants to be SUG president.
Not necessarily SCG
Yo,
president.
so
They could be
this is a
departmental
universal advice.
president.
It's
Yes, it
applicable
is.
to
It
every
is.
sphere of life, not necessarily SUG president. Even now, I'm still applying it. I'm still applying it. I'm being very patient. I don't give up on my dreams, on things. I was disqualified a day before the election, and I was able to bounce back. And you see now it's just a story. The- During that time that I got disqualified, I was the one comforting my friends. They were pressurized. I told them they should not worry.
I saw it. I had that imagination. How would you feel like after all this journey and
Yeah, definitely.
now
Definitely. I was sleeping. I came back from exam. I did TDB class. You know, I study at night. So I
you
did
mentioned?
TDB. I was sleeping during the day. Then I just had someone push my door because my phone was on silent. I was sleeping. I wanted to rest so that I can continue with the campaign because it was very stressful
It must be.
managing campaign and exams at the same time. Sometimes I leave the campaign because we followed room by room. I made sure I stepped in almost every room in this university. I
Wow.
followed every class, every individual that I meet in the road. I stay and inform him. I share the vision to him.
That was quite the tenacity.
Yeah. This is all it takes. You have to put the work in order to 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 get the output. You have to put in the work. So imagine after all this, I was sleeping. I was trying to rest, then get back. Then my friend opened the door. He came in, he woke me up. He said that DK, you were disqualified. I just saw him. I was surprised. He said I was disqualified. So I woke up. I saw the time. Then I prayed. I told him to just calm down, calm down. He was restless at that time. He was shaking. He was tense at that time. So I told him to calm down. Immediately, I prayed. We went to rectify the issue. And hopefully, by God's grace, it was rectified. And we bounced back. We bounced back even stronger because some of the opponents were campaigning with our disqualification. They'll be like, your favorite candidate is disqualified. Come and support me now. Our favorite candidate is disqualified. That is how some of the opponents were campaigning.
That's an interesting way to
God's
look at
plan.
it.
That's God's plan. So you see, this is how life is. You have to be very optimistic and you should never give up. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you won't see the light. Sometimes until you get to the end of the tunnel, that's when you see the light. Or sometimes you even have to get out of the tunnel before you see the light. So at whatever stage you are in life, you should never give up. This is very important. And also be prayerful. If your parents are like, tell them to pray for you, your friends, whosoever that you think, you should also pray. It's very important. Always pray for the best. So we believe this is what we attend will be for the best interest of the student of the University of Maiduguri and also for the entire world.
I'm having some goosebumps right now. That's quite motivational. And it's really the facts. Prayers,
And
consistency, focus.
and in addition, I forgot to mention this. Everything in life has requirement. You should know the requirement of a particular thing, requirement of what you should read. Reading is very important. You should read books. This is what I do in my leisure time. I read books.
You do a lot.
Yeah, I read books, but I don't watch movies. Many people see my life as if I'm living a boring life. I don't watch movies. I I I I I,
I think
don't play
most
games.
oriented people, other people tend to look at their life as a boring life.
Definitely,
Why
a
wouldn't
a
you
lot of
enjoy
people
it?
say
But
that my life I'm living a boring life because most of the things that I do, many people don't find it interesting. So you see, this especially this, I have a game at home. I have a PS at home, but the last time I played the game, it was in 2022. That is when I started to get serious with my life. So immediately I stopped playing games. I stopped. Just a lot of sacrifices to be here. A lot of
that's
sacrifices.
interesting. Now you are making me wonder. I have some list of movies to watch during the holiday, but Mr. DK is making me wonder, and I'm feeling guilty. Maybe I should keep them aside. I will think about that. But that's amazing. Thank you so much, and that should help in changing the lives of those individuals coming after you, people watching. That would motivate them to do better in life. And even I personally listen to you, I believe this would make a difference in my life. And that is the main aim. This obviously brings us to the end of this podcast. But building education awareness and mentorship podcast is all about this. To bring great individuals from different field of life to come here and lay down the blueprint for us so that we can learn from it, so that we can follow that blueprint and make a difference in our life. As always, this is just one. Many will be coming after this. Don't forget to like my channel, subscribe to my channel, and share this video. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Pleasure to be